Alrighty, so this is just a quick update on some of my SpeedTree activity. So here we have a Tasmanian tree fern, which is going to be one of the main assets in my scene. It's comprised of a few nodes over here, nothing terribly difficult to understand. So from the base tree node we move into the trunk, which essentially is just a slightly displaced cylinder, and nothing too much to that, other than instead of tapering at the top, I opened that up, so it was just pretty much a continuous cylinder. Then wrapped around that we have these branches. These are sort of representative of the branches that break off the Tasmanian tree fern, because as it grows, it drops its branches and leaves these sort of little stumps on the side. So that's sort of what I was trying to achieve with these little stubby sort of branches here. And then we've got another setup here. So these both have different textures, just to sort of show that these are slightly newer than those ones. So these just use like a different texture map, which is slightly lighter, as you can see up here. So I have trunk branches light and trunk branches. Then we move up to the fronds, and these are just a simple branch that is made through the sample branches. I think you can just use sort of like a template. I use something in here, and I just worked them in such a way that they sort of were really thin, long, and curved at the top. So you can see that they kind of arc straight up here and then curve more towards the tip. These lower fronds actually bend a bit more than the top ones, just to give it a bit more structure. Then we move up to the leaves. I've got leaves on either side of these branches. So you've got sort of like a left and a right version for each set of frond branches. This just gives me the ability to change the density on either side potentially, or change materials, that kind of thing. So each set can have its own unique size, material characteristics. So yeah, that gives me quite a bit of control, which was kind of nice. Also, just with the wind, it's just a calm wind that I activated through the wind wizard. You can actually go into the wind wizard here, sorry, and you can just set, I set it to fern with conditions set to calm, and wide flat fronds seem to work best for this setup. It was the most natural setup I could work out of this wind wizard here. I also had to turn the wind off these lower branches here, because as soon as you turn wind on these guys, they look kind of funky, as you can see. It'd probably suit some sort of project out there, like some alien kind of plant, but no, didn't look good on this guy. Not very natural at all. So you've also got, just on back to the leaves for a second, we've got a few different textures. So I've got 3 different leaf textures, just to break up the color a little. So there's a lighter green, or more of a yellow, and then almost a brown, just to sort of illustrate some dead leaves on these fronds, just to make it look even more natural. As part of the setup, I've had to go into node editing and move some of these branches, because some of them were a little close together, which didn't look that great. So that's something I considered as part of this process. So with this setup, it's relatively easy now to go make varying versions of the plant. So you can go in, and if you go to random seeds, if you haven't used SpeedTree before, you wouldn't be aware, but you can randomize all the properties within this node tree over here, and because I've got bifurcation on, which I probably should have turned off, you get that split there. But you can go into random seeds and get all these different versions of it, and just pick when you find one that you like, you can use that as a different version and export that out to Maya or whatever program you want to use. So it's, yeah, quite a cool system. It works really well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result, to be honest. Yeah, so thank you for listening.